What does it take to become a car guy? Luck, talent, and a little audacity.
Dear Mr. President of General Motors, do you know what's wrong with the new Buick? I'll tell you. The holes on each side of the hood don't even do anything. Everybody knows they are just for looks. I have some suggestions for your next model. First,
when Martin was 15, he wrote to the president of General Motors to offer his 2 cents on the '49 Buick, and the guy wrote back to him.
Dear Martin, thank you very much for your good thoughts on our new car. We'll keep them in mind for the future.
That may have been the end of peddling bikes and the beginning of peddling cars for Martin. After graduating from Stanford in 1956 with a degree in economics, it was time to see if he could become a successful, respected businessman. Instead, he became a car salesman. Jules Barsotti of European Motors hired him in '57, and he learned the business fast. Martin sold a used Mercedes 220S to a friend and told him it was owned by a little old lady who only drove it to church on Sundays. True, it had been his mother's car. Now there's a car guy on the come. But being a car salesman wasn't the way. Barsotti called Martin in one day and said, "We don't want you here as a car salesman. Tell you what, quit and we'll back you in your own dealership." San Francisco Datsun was born in 1969. A Toyota dealership followed. Martin even staged price wars with his Toyota dealership across the street from his Datsun dealership. Other franchises were added, including Mazda, Isuzu, Alfa Romeo, and Fiat. In those days, all the car dealers were on San Francisco's Van Ness Avenue, but rents were high, parking difficult, and then there was the goddamn union. Car guy Swig had a better idea. Move all the car dealers to 16th and Potrero to his San Francisco Auto Center, site of the old San Francisco Seals Stadium. When the other dealers couldn't see it, Martin did it anyway, creating America's first one-stop shopping center for cars with 12, 15, finally 17 different makes of cars under the same roof. And after, what do they call it, a strike? He did business his way. It was about that time that Martin heard about the Mille and its recreation as a fast drive instead of a race. He flew his Alfa 1900 to Brescia and took his pal John Lamb from Road and Track magazine along for the ride. That began a regular series of Mille drives for Martin, and that inspired, in 1991, the Amici Americani della Mille, the American Friends of the Mille. In 1996, the Auto Center was turned into the Potrero Shopping Center, and Martin happily retired to collect and sell the cars he loved as a kid but couldn't afford. Alphas, Chryslers, Lancias, even a couple of Tatras. How good was he? He bought a 1953 Alfa Romeo, sold it, then discovered he couldn't live without it, so he bought it back. No one knows whether the IRS saw that one as a capital gain or a capital loss. In 1999, he became a TV producer. A couple had a PBS show called World of Collector Cars. When they divorced, Martin bought their TV slots and renamed the program Back Road Adventures.
I'm a sucker for these old cars. I just love them. I love the old roads, I love the time capsule towns, and all the scenery like it was before the days of the superhighways.
For a year, he traveled the world, to Australia to drive and film in the Melbourne Mille, to the hills of Arkansas to participate in the Hillbilly Mille.
Well, I've got my corncob pipe, I've got my hillbilly money clip, and I'm ready to go.
Rallies in New Zealand, France, and of course, his favorite, the Mille. Martin was really good on camera. He was often referred to as one-take Martin, but he did have his moments.
You know, Gary, the mayor of this lovely town of Christchurch. So I'm beginning to think there is no such thing as one visit to New Zealand. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I could do without the Vegemite. Big joke on those people here, but they grow up eating the shit.
And for 3 years, TV stations around the nation ran his show. Is that a car guy for you? But even a car guy needs something other than cars. In 1978, Martin and his Esta were married. In 1984, David drove onto the scene, and Howard made a screaming arrival in 1988, the next generation of car guys. To tell the whole Martin Swig car guy story would take longer than his infamous Double 500 rally. 500 miles in a car not worth more than $500. Let's just say, Martin Swig, we salute you. You were one hell of a car guy.